So welcome back to the channel with me, Poison Smurf, and in a Division 2 video. If you're the kind of person that wants to stay up to date with all the latest news, reviews, tips and tricks, build guides, that kind of thing, and you haven't done so already, maybe think about hitting that subscribe button, hit the notification bell to be notified when we drop new content. If you enjoyed today's video or find it helpful in any way, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, you can always give it a thumbs down, guys. If you've got any questions or anything, drop them in the comments below. We will try and get back to everybody. Now all that's out the way, let's get into today's video. So if anyone is still in need of a perfect pair of contractor gloves, make sure you get yourselves across to Cassie Mendoza, the secret gun runner, as she is sewing an absolutely great pair this week. As you can see, we have maxed out weapon damage, maxed out damage to armor, and obviously we can reroll the final stat and make ourselves a nice triple god rolled set. Now if you need to do this, obviously you need to go to the snitch, get Cassie Mendoza unlocked. For those of you that don't know how to find the snitch, the easiest way I find is if you simply fast travel to the 1040 safe house, simply go out the side door, and if you follow the video below, I find him in this garage absolutely every single time, first time, every week without fail. So just follow the video below, guys, find him, simply speak to him, accept the bounty, you'll find Cassie's location and you'll be able to access that in just a few hours. So today we're going to be talking about the final stage of the Manhunt and the conclusion with Faye Lau to be taking part at Camp White Oak. So after one final grind of control points, bounties and missions, we finally get to make our way across to Camp White Oak for the final showdown. Now as we start the mission, we don't really find much difference with regards to the layouts. There are a couple of little unique surprises along the way, but nothing that most agents won't have counted before. So as normal, we start off in the first area down near the lake, where we'll come across a small bunch of NPCs which you should be able to take out nice and easily. Straight immediately after this, we are going to find a SHD reward cache, where we are instantly going to be rewarded with the season reward for the Manhunt, the new Achilles Pulse. Now unlike previous manhunts, there will be no incentive to actually equip this and to try and use this throughout the mission. It will not help you really in any way. One thing that may help you for anyone that hasn't done it is maybe think about equipping a jammer pulse. It will come in a lot more handy than this will. So you continue working your way up through the pathways and you'll find yourself in the first wooded area. Now it's mainly the same as all your other previously run throughs. You're going to have a couple of waves of NPCs, a helicopter full drop in, but you will come across a few of these black SHD crates. Now just approach them with caution as you get too close. As you can see, they do actually deploy assault drones out the top. There is only one of them, so with the help of your jammer or just a quick shot, you can take these down relatively easy. So continuing your way through the mission as you would normally expect, there is an area where you go up the hill and you normally have a mounted heavy gun with NPCs area there. Sometimes it can be one of the most difficult areas of it. There's a loot box at the top. Now for some strange reason this area is completely empty. Now my first thought was maybe there was a collectible or something along here, some kind of secret or something like that, but I can tell you after scavenging it really thoroughly, there was absolutely nothing here. In fact, there are no collectibles to find anywhere in the map apart from the actual echo that we'll talk about later on, and the actual Langley files, which will show you exactly where to get them from. So you continue on a little bit further and then you will come across a couple of these. These are the turrets with the infrared sights. What you want to do is just basically look at the power leads. It will lead to a generator with a yellow console. Simply shoot them consoles, depowering them and obviously making them safe. Now at this point, this is where you're going to come up and find the Presidential Lodge. Now these are probably the most two interesting bits of this level. Firstly, you'll get to activate the echo and actually see Faye Lau execute the president. After you've done this, if you turn around and come back here to this desk and come to the computer, you will see that we'll have a prompt there saying interact. Simply press this, listen to the small audio cue, and as you can see, you will receive all of the Langley files. Not just one of them, literally all of them. For some strange reason, they didn't even want to distribute these throughout the levels, make them collectibles or anything along them lines. We literally got them all in one hit. You can simply go to your progression tabs, go down, you'll see these in the comms, just look at the Langley files, you can play these back. For anybody that does want to hear them in full, I will play the end of the video out with these later on, so you can just stay tuned for that. So anyway, continue along through the docks, a few more NPCs, a few more turrets, a few more drones, and then we'll finally get to the end cavern where we come out with our final showdown with Faye Lau. As you can see top of the screen immediately, you'll be addressed with a countdown clock. What you need to do is simply target the rotor blades at the top of the helicopter, do enough damage to destroy the helicopter, stopping Faye's route of escape. Now all you'll have to do is simply just spend your time, clear a few waves of ads, and then finally take down Faye Lau. Now this is the point of the video where it kind of gets a little bit interesting. Now I've run through this 3 different times, and so far I've had 3 different endings. So the first time after we killed Faye Lau, we all stopped and waited for the cutscene, waited a little bit longer, and yeah, as you all know, nothing happened. Listening to the audio saying that we had to go back to the base of operations to debrief, and then fast travelled back to the White House expecting maybe the cutscene to take place then. Again, nothing happened. Now I went round all the members of staff to see if you could interact with anybody or anything, and literally nothing. So I joined the many disappointed people with Twitter, showing my dismay. Later on that day, I saw another YouTuber, I can't remember exactly who it was offhand, replaying this, and what they found was when they actually completed the mission, if you shoot Faye Lau once in the head, it would spawn an additional wave of enemies. Another helicopter comes in, drops a bunch of NPCs, and you clear them. Again, no cutscene. You can then go back to Faye, shoot her in the head again. This time, it will spawn a wave of robotic dogs that will jump over the fencing in the barriered off area. Now, this to me sounds a bit strange. Now, I don't know if there's some kind of bug going on with the Faye Lau mission. Maybe it's not triggering properly. Maybe this is a secret ending. There's some kind of secret that we have to unlock. Because to me, it almost sounds more like a mechanic than it does an actual bug. I'm curious what you guys think. So I played it again for a 3rd time today. I was going to run through and obviously repeat this, shoot her in the head and have a little look around for any yellow electric boxes, anything like that. So as you can see in the video, I took down Faye Lau. I then went for a good rummage around to make sure that there was definitely nothing missed, not a secret. This time when I came back, as you can see, Faye Lau is gone. Now, did she survive? Did she escape? Is the game just completely bugged out and broken? Is this how they intended it to be? I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think it's bugged? Do you think it's just broken? Or do you think there's a hidden ending here that none of us have found? I'm curious to know your thoughts, guys. So after the disappointment of the Manhunt, at least there was some good news. Now, I'm sure some of you have seen this, maybe some of you haven't, but recently a CEO from Ubisoft took to Twitter after a financial report at Ubisoft, and as you can see by the Twitter on the screen, he basically announced that the Division Massive would continue to work on the Division game, obviously for 2021 going into 2022. Now this has led some YouTubers to speculate that this means that we're going to be getting Year 3 and Year 4 content. Me personally, I think it just means we're going to be getting Year 3 content, bearing in mind Year 3 will continue up until March of next year, so technically that would be 2021 and 2022. Others are speculating that this could just be the development team just working on the Division 3, as March next year is the expected date for a lot of us that we were hoping to hear about the Division 3. But obviously any news of any forthcoming games, we're not going to hear anything about that until obviously mid-June, and probably until the E3 conference later on in the year, if that actually goes ahead. I'm pretty certain it's Year 3 content we're talking about. Now, when will we hear about this? Now my expectations will be is I think we'll hopefully are going to have a episode of State of the Game next Wednesday, as the seasons all completely run out in only 2 weeks. They would need a little bit of time to market this. I don't think they would just drop it on us and just say, there you go guys, it's live. But we'll have to wait and see. Fingers crossed, hey guys. But like I said earlier, for you guys that wanted to hear the Langley report, I'm going to play today's video out with that. But until the next time guys, stay safe and keep grinding.
Status update. Sync with Mexican Ambassador Arturo Lechuga. Major urban areas are decimated and rural areas in the Baja Peninsula are fine.
Well, shit, Zara. I guess we should take a vacation at Cabo.
Not funny, sir.
Lighten up. The world's fucked whether we like it or not.
Status update. Sync with Canadian intelligence. Major urban areas are decimated, and Canada's National Emergency Strategic Stockpile has been activated. Most of the western half of the country has dodged the worst of it. Rural BC is mostly unscathed.
I'm sensing a theme here, Zara. Live out in BFE. You're probably fine.
Yes, sir, that seems to be correct.
Those son of a bitch preppers ain't gonna let anyone live this down.
That's the least of our concerns, sir. Status update. Sync with agent station outside Moscow. Despite a major effort to contain the spread, criminal enterprises thwarted the quarantine just enough to ensure the containment failed.
I hope that bare-chested buffoon suffered.
I'm not sure that's pertinent, sir.
I don't give a fuck. He's a menace to stability and peace.
Status update. Immediate quarantine set in place, and major points of ingress to Japan were quickly shut down. While this prevented the spread of the virus, food and supply shortages have been causing havoc. Fishing communities are pitching in to fill the shortfall.
Must be nice to be an island nation.
I'm not sure starvation is better than the virus, sir.
I am. This is a plague of biblical proportions.
It's not a plague, sir.
Stop being so goddamn pedantic.
Status update. Report from our ambassador to India. Widespread outbreak and nearly complete social and economic collapse following in its wake. Major population centers have been devastated by the virus.
India? Why the fuck am I gonna be worried about India right now? Have you seen the state of this place?
And nuclear weapons, sir?
What about them?
India has them. If the government collapses and can't protect their stockpile, that's an issue for us and, really, everyone. Status update. Official report from the EU. Despite political paralysis around committing people to quarantine, many European countries have weathered the outbreak well. Healthcare systems manage treatments, and they've shown a high rate of success in treating the symptoms.
Sounds like a load of socialist bullshit.
The numbers don't lie, sir. That said, the collapse of their trading partners has significantly impacted urban centers with service economies. Status update. As expected, not much in the way of information. Global economic trade collapse seems like it has an outsized impact on the Middle East. OPEC countries are actively looking to trade crude stockpiles for critical medicine and supplies.
Well, it's a damn good thing we restarted drilling in Anwar. Would have been even worse if we had to trade for oil.
Sir, Anwar drilling operations have been completely halted since the outbreak.
Why the hell would they stop?
I believe they experienced difficulty drilling without sufficient staff.
Incoming backup request.
Status update. Reports out of Asia have been mixed. Economic devastation and catastrophic loss of life have been reported across the continent, but many regions seem to be largely untouched as well. Chinese authorities claim the situation is under control, but satellite imagery shows heavy population migration out of urban areas.
Mixed how? What are we talking about?
Initial news out of larger metropolitan areas show devastating viral spread, but some Asian countries have had little issue in rapid quarantine procedures.
So, you're saying that human rights abuses have their benefits?
Not at all, sir. I'm simply stating the reality that some countries have had less political backlash with strict lockdowns. Central and South America have fared relatively poorly. The breakdown in government services has factionalized the survivors, and they've coalesced into warlord factions, often led by former cartels with strong regional paramilitary power.
Cartels. Fuck.
Not solely, sir, but certainly, without markets for their products, cartels have consolidated control over regions. We have reports of violent clashes with existing governmental militaries as well.
Well, that's just fucking perfect.
Status update. Such a low population density and already spotty government support structures across many African nations. Much seems to remain largely unchanged.
I don't give a flying fuck about Africa. Why are you even briefing me about it?
It's my job, sir.
Well, stop briefing me on a continent with virtually no geopolitical significance. What the shit would we even do about Africa?
Care. Sir, you know I still have family there. Sir?